What's up guys, welcome back to IT Security Labs, and in today's video we will be completing Chatterbox, which is a HackTheBox machine. And this one is a very easy Windows machine, and as you can see, it's a buffer overflow machine. So let's go ahead and start with our usual ping. The IP address is 10.10.10.74, and as you can see, that gets us there. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. This is my series on HackTheBox machines. I'm just exploring as I learn for the OSCP, and I want to practice as much as possible before taking the labs so I can make use of that time wisely. So I'm learning as you will, and this one should not take too long. And this is my first buffer overflow video, and this one is very simple. It's way too simple, but we'll learn a few things here. So as usual, we start with our nmap, and this one I did my initial scan. I didn't see any ports, but I modified my nmap script by just including this here, where I'm just scanning the first 10,000 ports to see what I can find. And this gave me these results here, where I found two ports, 9255 and 9256. So that was interesting. Then I decided right away to dig deeper into those two ports with my normal scripts scan, and this is what I ran. Nmap T4, make sure that we speed up. Our maximum retries is 5. Saved scripts, and honing down on these ports, going to this IP address, and I'm outputting to a file called ports_detailed, because I wanted to see the most detailed information. And with that, it led me to here. I just redid this ahead of time, so out of respect for your time, so you don't wait and see me wait 10 minutes for these scans to be done. But so this is what we have after running nmap. We see that we have these two ports, and this time we have a name of the service that's running there. And this is where I will start going forward with you guys, so we can test this out. So from here we have two options. We can go to Google and just copy this and find out what this is. The name of the machine is Chatterbox, and we see a chat. So we see that we can see a bunch of things here. So let's do exploit to see what we have. All right, so it looks like we have a buffer overflow. Version is 1.5. We can actually go and verify that we have version 5 of our chat, but this is the one that we'll be using. And it looks like we can actually do this manually as well. They're already giving us how to run the Metasploit, MSF Venom command, which is really good. So all we have to do is generate our own payload and put it here. That's our buffer overflow for us. And we also have to specify the IP address of our machine and the port in this command here. I'll be showing you very quickly if that's how it is. So this is sort of like a buffer overflow that has already been done for us. Normally we need to go and find these bad characters ourselves, but looks like we already have a list of bad characters. And if you're not familiar with buffer overflow, I highly suggest that you check out the Cyber Mentor. He does have a really cool course that I completed last week, and I have a few machines that I completed this weekend that were really hard. This is the easiest one, and it's a good start if you're just starting out. So let's go ahead and see if we already have let's see if we already have a chat in here. All right, so the same buffer overflow that we saw, we have it over here. So that's good. It's right here. So we'll just copy this Python script, generate our own payload, and we should be good. All right, so we are going to copy this Python script and modify it with our own payload. So first, let's copy it from this location to our current machine here. So if I do an ls here, here it is, my Python script. So let's clear, let's view 3.6. All right, so this is our MSF Venom command, and this is the payload that they have. So what we need to do is replace this with ours. We need to replace all this, and it looks like it's also hard-coded here, the IP address for the server. Not sure if we will need this one for our sake, but let me just edit it here quickly. 10.10.10.74. Okay. So let's generate our own payload here using MS of Venom. But as you can see, before I leave this page, this is the command that they gave us. So we're just going to copy this part of the command from here. And it looks like we'll be generating a cow.exe. So we don't want this cow.exe, we want this payload. So I'll show you how to generate it, and we can actually replace this with our own code. So let's save there. Okay, so we came and we ran this command. This is already specified in this commentary here, MSF Venom, and the platform is already specified for us. Normally, you also have to go and find what platform you're running, whether it's also 32-bit or 64-bit. In this case, we're 32-bit. And then generating a reverse shell on our local host. That's my IP address. You need to change this one to yours. I'm using port 443. And then we're using this Unicode here. And in most cases, like I say, you have to find out all this information by yourself. And this happens to be an easy one it's already given to us. Then the bad characters, which you also have to find, are specified here. So this is the one command that you need to run, and this will generate, let's see. Okay, so if I copy that, then let's come back here, let's quit and paste it here. As you can see, something is wrong here. Check it out. Oh yeah, I didn't have the whole command here. Okay, we want this whole thing. And copy it. Let's clear. Then if we paste that, now that looks good. That's exactly what we need. We specified everything. We're outputting to a Python file. So let's wait. In a couple minutes here, we should now generate our own code. Okay, so as you can see, we are done. We need to copy from here. That's our new payload all the way to here. And right click, copy. And then let's just go ahead and do a gedit here. It's just easier to work with right now. So that's what we have to replace all this stuff here. I think buffer overflows are easier for me because it's just a few steps that I need to take. It's just a matter of finding the bad characters. That takes a while, and also finding the platform and verifying the size of the buffer. So if I do a save here, that should be it. All right, so now that we are done, we just need to execute our Python script and listen on the port to get a reverse shell. All right, so let's listen first. Make it negative LV and P. I think we're using 443. So now that we're listening, just do this. Oh no. Now let's run our script. If we do a Python 36 py, and it just says poof. So let's go back here, and as you can see, we're in the system. So this is probably one of the easiest machines, and I actually like buffer overflows better because there's a surefire way that works if you have all your birds in. So the first thing is ID. No. Who am I? Okay, so I'm just a regular user, Alfred. All right, so let's find the first flag. Nowadays, I do get my CISSP credit. What do you call them? Continued education for doing this. So today I got 2 points because of this machine. CD users. Okay. Let's make sure there's no funny business here. So we only have Alfred and administrator. So if I do CD Alfred, then I think we need to go to the desktop. Okay. So on the desktop, there is our user.txt. So if you view that, you can get the flag. That's flag number 1. So since we see administrator, let's see if we can go to the administrator profile. We have a root.txt. So this shows me that the fact that we can go to the administrator's desktop as Alfred shows me that there's something really misconfigured here. Can we see this flag? Let's see. Type root.txt. Okay, so we can see the flag that is there. We can see what's there, but we cannot view it. So time to enumerate and find a way to get root here, or admin. Okay, so we're just going to go through the normal Windows privilege escalation. I have a checkbox of things that I need to do, and one of them is a net users. So let's find out. Okay. So these are the only 3 we already saw, but that's part of my enumeration that we do. And next, let's find the system info. Yeah, you want to find the version of the Windows and see if maybe we can find missing patches and all that stuff. So that's another command that we can run. As you can see, this one brought a bunch of information. And what we are interested in, you can look up this OS version. It's Windows 7 Professional. Here is Service Pack 1. So we can go and find out if there's any updates on this system, if we're missing any service packs and all that stuff. But another one that was interesting when I did this was when I ran any auto logons using checking in the registry. Let's see if this one works. We're just querying the registry to see any auto logons. You see that we have default to Alfred and password welcome. So that's also something that is very interesting. Then as I went through my list, there's another one, dir/q. As you can see, we do have permission. We actually have full permission to this file. So there's a little tool called icacls.exe. Let me just show you. And you can actually grant yourself the permission as the user. So if we run that and say we want root.txt, then we can say grant I thought this was really clever. Chatterbox / Alfred, then colon, just put an F here. As you can see from here now, we can actually do a type root.txt. So as you can see, we got our root flag. So this was one way of doing this. The one that I really like is actually for us to privilege, to escalate our privileges and actually become administrator, and I'll quickly show you here. Okay, so the one way that I really like is let's go ahead and actually escalate our privileges from Alfred to actually become system, because that's more rewarding than just grabbing a flag here. So I found two little tools that we can use. Since we can actually use Alfred's credentials here, there's potential that we can actually just use that to actually exploit the system. Since this looks like it's a password reuse that we can use here. So to do that, let's use plink to port forward, then execute commands remotely and actually try to get shell. I'll be doing this method more, and if you want to learn more about port forwarding, there's this document here that I found that's really helpful from Cybrary. There's a few others. Just read on this. It allows you to listen on one port, then go to the machine and also listen on the same port. Then you can execute commands and actually gain shell that way. So it's very easy. Then in addition to that, we're also going to use our WinExe. This just allows us to execute commands remotely. So we're going to use plink first, but to do that, we need to get plink to our machine here. So let's go back here. That didn't work well. Okay, there we go. So we just want to copy that. We're just copying it here. Okay, we now have plink here. And let's also copy our WinExe. So let's locate. So we can just do right here. Okay, now that we have everything here set up, our next order of business is to use our Python server to deliver that to our machine. I've shown you how to use this in almost every video. We're just running our server here, listening on port 80. And we can just come here. Now that we are listening on port 80 over there, let's go to our machine and run our PowerShell command to get the files that we need. So if we go back here and all the way down here, if I do a paste. All right, so what I'm doing is, this is the command that I use all the time to move our machine. I'm calling PowerShell, this module, and I'm downloading a file from my server that I just did. I'm downloading plink.exe. It's going to be named plink.exe. But as you can see, I'm in the administrator's desktop, so maybe that's not a good idea. Let's run this command under our user, because I'm not sure if we would have to change the permissions here. Let's go to his desktop. Okay, now we should be able to run our command. See if we get something here. And I know someone mentioned that there's a tool that I can use to split my screen. I would definitely take some time to learn that one, because this time I'd rather I have a split screen so I can see, as you can see, it's showing that I did run the command successfully. It's just waiting. Okay, so if I do a dir, plink.exe is here. That is good. So we do have our p-link file. So now what we need to do is and start our port forwarding. Let's start our SSH on our machine here. Let's just do SSH start. Okay guys, so this is what we're going to do. We are now going to run our p-link remote tunnel, and this is exactly what's happening here. Let me quickly explain it. Our Kali Linux, which is in this case 10.10.10.14.33, we're creating a tunnel using SSH, and in this case we're using, it's a remote tunnel. That's what this means. And this is our local port because we'll be running on the Windows machine on 445, and we will be tunneling that traffic. There's a typo here. Through this tunnel, through this port 445. So let's see if this works here. Then if this works and if our tunnel is up, then we can do remote commands execution on our Kali Linux on this machine. So this was me just trying it out. So again, we're calling p-link, which is an application that just creates a tunnel between us and our machine. And this is what we're going to be using. We're authenticating to my Kali Linux on port 22. It's a remote tunnel. C, let's see. C is a compression. And R tells it to do a remote port forwarding. So these instructions are very handy. So every time I have to refer to them because it's very simple. Then once I do that, store key, I say yes. Okay, so it looks like my password for SSH was being disabled, and this is because Kali does not allow root to log in through SSH. So we have to go and change. So I'll show you. I just found some instructions. So I tried to log in as my root here, but it didn't work. So let's just VI that. I think we have to edit permit root login. Yes. So let's search for that. So we are going to uncomment that and do a yes. This is probably a security risk. You can create a different user that is allowed to SSH, but for the sake of this demonstration, we're going to do that. Then after that, let's restart SSH. All right. Make sure that our SSH is running. Status. Okay, so we have SSH running. Now going back to our machine, copying our command here. Now we should be able to run and log in as root. Okay, so we can tell that our tunnel is working by running netstat, and as you can see right here we have it running. So from here, let's just run wine and see if it will work. So wine, like I said earlier, is this application that allows us to execute commands remotely. So let's see if we'll be able to do that right now. So we're running it as administrator on that machine on the other side. So let's see what will happen. And it wants a password. And let's reuse the password that we found earlier, which was welcome one exclamation mark. Let's see if that works. Bam, we're in. So who am I? Now we are running as administrator. So this was sort of a way around. I don't think this machine was meant to be exploited this way because it's just too easy. Using Metasploit is even easier. But this is how I did the privilege escalation. Like I said, to craft my remote execution, I used this one right here. This is the command, the exact command that I use. I just used 445 here and 445 here and the IP address of my Kali, and left everything in the IP address of my machine. And this is very easy. The reason why we do this is because once we can tunnel, we can choose a user and reuse the credentials as we saw earlier. So that was a very nice machine. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I do post these a lot, and I'm getting more comfortable with Windows now. I'm actually liking Windows, and I actually like a few of the things. And the one guide that I followed for privilege escalation for Windows is this one. I'll just put it right here. I literally go through this guy's guide step by step. When I get to a Windows machine, I run all these commands and see if I get, before I start throwing a bunch of scripts, I'm trying to get used to these manual. Then after these don't work, then I can run the enumeration scripts, but I try to do it manually first. So these are all the commands. That's it for this video. Subscribe, like my video. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that I can do to improve. Otherwise, guys, I'll see you in the next video.